experiences of their lives. More than 4 years before being ousted by a younger, more powerful male. When Jürgen first met Hanglip and his pride, the family group was small, with only 2 males, 4 adult females, and a few cubs. Under his reign, the pride grew steadily throughout the dry cycle that gripped Kruger Park.
Hanglip was a fantastic male, confident of his power, and he accepted me. He allowed me to follow the pride when they went hunting, and I was fascinated by their strategies.
Lions set up their territories where hunting is best, but not all of Kruger offers
Never-ending search for prey.
Jürgen started to film these lions at the time when Hanglip and his brother first took over the Chiloweni pride. Hanglip was the stronger of the 2 males, but together they formed a formidable partnership that kept rivals at bay.
In the time I spent with him, Hanglip fathered many cubs.
Despite the years of drought, Hanglip's cubs continued to flourish, growing healthy and strong. Lions can subsist for long periods of time without drinking by using the moisture present in their prey. And prey was plentiful.
I saw them and they were absolutely beautiful.
After about 6 weeks, the lioness joined another female with cubs slightly older than hers. Then, Jürgen could film without any danger of being attacked and spent as much time as possible recording the family's activities. The lionesses were attentive mothers, but they had to eat to survive. And every 2 or 3 days, they had to hunt. During their first 2 months, the cubs were too young to follow their mothers, who would have to leave them behind, alone and unguarded, until they found someone they could trust.
They would get ready at night to go hunting, but sometimes the mothers would bring the cubs over and leave them with me.
Jürgen had unwittingly become a nanny. It was a great privilege, but it had its drawbacks.
I was a Helen. I wanted to film the excitement of the hunt. But I felt responsible for the cubs, and so I stayed with them. But the next morning, when the mothers returned, it was like a family reunion.
Whenever Jürgen was not with Hanglip's pride, he kept an eye out for other filming opportunities. He sometimes followed other lions and the animals that shared their territory. This young bull elephant was determined to let everyone know who was boss around here. He seemed irritated with everyone, even Jürgen.
The elephant came from behind a small tree and mock charged me. He had nothing against me personally. He was just telling me to go away. I realized then that I was parked under his favorite tree.
Incidents like this. A unique opportunity presented itself when Hanglip mated with one of his females. Over the next 106 days, Jürgen followed her pregnancy.
One day, she did not join the rest of the pride when they left to go hunting. I knew her time was near.
Later that day, she moved into a dense patch of reeds. It was exciting for Jürgen, but at the same time frustrating. He could not see the birth. All he could do was record the sounds. Jürgen desperately wanted to see the cubs, but he knew that if he got too close, the mother would kill him. Jürgen waited at the den for 4 long days. Eventually, hunger forced the lioness to leave her cubs unattended, and Jürgen saw his chance.
I crawled into the den with my camera, and I said to myself, Jürgen, if she comes back now, you're dead. But I had to go in. I felt like they were part of my own family.
The cubs were very small, only weighing about 2 kilograms each, but their eyes were already open, and they knew that Jürgen was not their mother.
They started hissing at me. I knew if their mother heard them, I would be in big trouble. I had to get out of there fast. I got out just in time before she arrived back. I'm sure she could smell that I'd been with the cubs, but her first instinct was to check if they were okay.
Filmed in 1990, feeding organs. Her entire purpose is to mate and then lay about 200 eggs. Her life lasts no longer than 3 days. Tiny caterpillars hatch between 3 and 4 weeks later. They only need to crawl a short distance to find their food source, mopani leaves. The brightly colored caterpillar is a feeding machine, growing rapidly to a length of up to 13 centimeters. Its skin does not stretch with its expanding body. The caterpillar needs to molt 6 times before it reaches full size. By this stage, the caterpillar becomes one of the richest sources of protein for animals and birds. After 6 weeks of blissful overindulgence, the caterpillar leaves the tree and finds a soft, sandy spot in the soil near the base of the mopani. It burrows down into the sand, where it hollows out a cell and gradually turns into a pupa. Here it will lie as it goes through its dramatic transformation.
No one could tell me exactly when the moth would come out, so I had to be there every night to make sure I didn't miss it. But I wasn't alone out there.
A kill among the mopani trees brought on rivalry among the king of beasts. But Jürgen maintained his vigil. After almost 6 months, the newly formed moths emerged, and Jürgen was ready to record the event.
Now that I'd seen the whole cycle, I was amazed at the ability of this one insect to transform itself. It just shows that everything in nature, no matter how small, is determined to beat the odds to survive. I find that fantastic.
The life cycle of the mopani moth was only one of the incredible events of the Kruger Park. Now, Jürgen knows that he has only scratched the surface. To film and understand the complexity and diversity of this world would take many lifetimes. He was privileged enough to share very special moments with some of Kruger's most formidable inhabitants. Retracing his old paths, he meets an old friend.
This is a real privilege.
Mabarule is one of the grand old men of Kruger, more than 40 years old. He is one of Kruger's 7 big tuskers.